what is right, there's a lot more work where that came from. No doubt. All right, are you having a good time so far? Close the door, because we're going to party here all night tonight. I'll leave her fools like heroin in your nose. I'll leave her fools like heroin in your nose. I'll leave her fools like heroin in your nose. I'll leave her fools like heroin in your swing. In every spot that I block, I'm representing Jersey, spitting rhymes like a book. Into the Cape Clear where I'm all the abuser, the stupid hooker user, the man with the low count and break in the Land Cruiser. I get a charge from the sound of the bus. I was made to crush. I'm wetting rappers till they bust. My Benjamin is elite, mega deep, 20 steep, we creep in the 5-car fleet. That's how I'm bouncing for the 9/5, son. We don't promote no masquerade, cause we was players from day one. We start trends, we make hits. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. Tinted windows cause I'm moving with heat. I got a mean ass broad in my shotgun stick. Could get bumped any day of the week. That nigga Larry O be making rappers repeat. You know it like I fail. Jake is on my tail. I blew up your block and left the haze like black hair. I use an M16 to blast clowns off the planet in cold blood. My heart is made of granite. My counterpart, the K to the dap, yeah. Wicked beat, make a mass murderer with his left. We got the whole game locked, so freaks on hold like pimp on his stroll. I'm busting caps in the sugar-coated rap, yo. This is a lyrical terrorist manifesto. Sipping the Remy, getting lit. I'm hit. Ain't playing a fat split, I'm on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. Back once more for my niggas with the encore. One last verse to blow the spot, then I burst. I'm about to sing cause I'm on some low shit. Back rolling niggas on that ghetto pro shit. Damn, hate to settle for less. True that, I wanna live big fat, push a Benz like a diplomat. Automatic text, Lazarus around my neck. Engineering shit with Corleone respect. The international world-class Don came to reign on hip-hop. I can't be stopped. I shoot the breeze with expertise. The mic is like a toaster when I rhyme, I squeeze. The criminologist kicking criminology. The way I'm shaking you is like a blank robbery. So yo, get on the floor and get face down. Take these slugs to your head so I can bust your fucking crown. That's what you get for playing slick. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. K-Dep and Larry O be on some real life shit. I'll leave my fools like heroin in your nose. K-Dep and Larry. All right. We're gonna cut the music. Y'all know what it is. It's Gangsta Talk. It's been a while. How's everybody doing? Appreciate everybody showing up. I can hardly contain myself. I just had to say something about this because I'm tired of people like this being associated with black people, being associated with black culture. So we're going to talk about it. Dane, put this animal up on the screen whenever you get ready. You know, this pedophile stuff, we have to start fighting this pedophilia. It's getting worse. This animal allegedly
raped an 11-year-old girl. I believe she was a black girl. We're still researching. They got her pregnant, allegedly, and fled the hospital. Now, the only reason why I'm talking about this, well, there's two reasons why I'm talking about this. This was a little girl whose innocence was taken, and she was raped over and over again by this animal. Another reason why I'm talking about this is because this animal that you see on the screen, Mr. Wendell Sanchez, has been called a black man. I'm sick and tired of because someone has dark skin or melanated skin and they're committing atrocities, they're black people. We have to start separating ourselves from this kind of behavior. We have to recognize this for what it is. This is not black culture. Black culture is not a culture of pedophilia. And shout out to Irene Yvette, who had a monster podcast the other day about some homosexual women who were again trying to connect homosexual culture to black culture. So we need to go on a record as black people and start fighting back. It seems like anybody and everybody takes us for a fool. Takes us for fools. Oh, let's just blame it on black people. Nobody cares. Well, I care. You need to care. We need to start caring, and we need to start fighting back, and we need to start opening up our mouths to let them and the rest of the world know that this kind of deviant and disgusting and despicable behavior is connected to black people. This isn't black culture. This animal has nothing to do with black people or black culture. This is a predator. Predators don't have a particular race or color. They're predators. He preyed on an 11-year-old girl that he's probably been having sex with, and apparently unprotected sex, because she was found to be pregnant. Now, we say allegedly, we have to say allegedly legally, but once he heard the news, he fled. Guilty people don't run away. But we'll stay with the alleged thing for now, so we don't get into any legal issues. But Mr. allegedly raped this young girl. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like everything is geared around deviant sex. Has anybody noticed that? Just about everything you turn on, everything you read, everything you hear is about deviant sex. And I'm talking about in the most depraved way. You got people coming out saying that Jesus loved the homosexuals and that there is no such thing as sin. There's no such thing as sin. I heard that. A couple of homosexuals said, well, I don't believe in sin because it won't allow me to have sex with the same sex. I mean, this society has become so degenerate and so sexually starved and depraved that they're willing to forego reality for the sake of having disgusting sex. Not even regular sex. It's got to be some disgusting, vile, depraved, crazy sex. We have all of these predators sprouting up. Hunters who are hunting little children. Well, This man here is a homosexual. See, pedophilia is a part of homosexuality. So if you're raping children, to me, you're homosexual. Now, I'm sure other homosexuals will say, hey, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Whatever. Stop raping children. Stop raping children. And now again, they've connected this animal to being black because his skin is melanated. Now, we barely have that many good brothers to begin with. We don't need a bad rep even on the good brothers who are out here doing what the hell they're supposed to do to be associated with animals like this simply because our skin is melanated. This man allegedly, repeatedly raped an 11-year-old girl until she became pregnant. Now, you see, back in my day, I won't even tell you what would happen. Exactly, Matthew. These are sodomites. And they're all over the place. Sodomites are popping up all over the place. And it's like they're driven. That's everywhere you turn. Everybody is talking about either a relationship, having sex, disgusting sex, not giving a damn about what's happening. They don't care about we're still getting our brains blown out. COVID is jacking people like they stole something. We still don't have any equal rights under the law. We're still our civil rights are still being violated like crazy. Our children are being targeted by predators. It goes on and on and on. But when you turn on many of these podcasts, you don't hear any of that. What you hear is dudes concerned about them not getting any pussy. And many of them are pedophiles themselves. They're on preying. In the manique's case, they're preying on young boys. See, the men have to deal with this. This isn't a woman's thing. We don't sit up here and say, well, the women have a problem. The women are not raising these boys, and they turn out to be pedophiles. No, the men need to deal with this. Guys like this need to be dealt with now. Of course, we can't incite violence. Use your imagination. Now, of course, we're going to have maniqueers and weak-minded males, melanated males. I'm not even calling them black men anymore. Weak-minded, melanated males were going to say, well, what did she do to cause him to allegedly raped her? You see, we live in an age now to where it's the little girl's fault. You see, with their twisted logic, with their broken logic, with their weak mentality, this is what they say. What did the little girl do? What do you mean? What did the little girl do? Well, what do you mean? What do I mean? Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'll tell you what I mean. So you'll understand what I mean. So you don't have to ask me, what do you mean? What I mean is, what do you mean? What did the little girl do? I'll tell you, she did nothing. I don't give a damn if she jumped out in the street and pulled up a skirt and showed you her leg. You, as a grown man, are not to touch her in any sexual way at all. There is no what did she do, but there is what you did and what you shouldn't have done. That's what it is. See, I don't want to hear this shit about, well, it's the girl's fault, man. She was dressing provocatively. She had my ham bones clapping. And she older than she looked. She pretty advanced for her. Hey, I don't give a damn about any of that. You, as a grown man, have no right to touch that little girl at all. See, we gotta talk to these weak-minded mentality type dudes like we're in the kindergarten, because they're the crayon box with the fat crayons in it. So we have to go along those lines. Hey, Mama Rain, how are you? Wow, I haven't seen you in a while. What happened to your wrench? Hold on, let me fix that. Let me make Matthew. Give Matthew a wrench. Matthew, type something else in the chat. Let me see if you got a wrench now. Mama Rain, type something else in the chat. Let me see if your wrench is back. Can y'all hear me? Somebody type a one if they can hear me. Whose birthday was it, Dane?
Oh, it
Okay, I
was
don't
my birthday.
know. Okay. Oh, okay, Mama. Yeah, Mama, you've been heading for a strike for a while. I see some of your content. I love it. You know, you're always online in Discord. We'd be talking to you, but you never respond. All right, anyway, dang, the background noise.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
so, okay, Matthew, okay, you're supposed to have a wrench. Hold on, Matthew. Okay, Matthew, type something else. You should have your wrench now. All right, anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. So, you heard the weak mentality of these melanated males. They say, oh, it's the little girl's fault. What did she do to entice him? What did she do to make him, did she consent? Man, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't care about none of that. You got me effed up. I don't want to hear none of that. You are a grown ass man. You are supposed to be a responsible, grown ass man. That is it. There is no rocket science involved. There's no Chinese arithmetic involved. There is no vibrations involved. There is no quantum physics involved. This is simplistic in nature. You are supposed to be a grown ass, responsible male. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it is. So, with that being said, there are no excuses. You don't get turned on as a grown man in a sexual manner by some 11-year-old baby. If you do, you're sick in the head. So, to all of you males, weak males, you know, who say the little girl did this, look, I don't want to hear that. All of you are pedophiles. If that's what you think, then you're no different than the pedophile that allegedly raped her. And I hate to say that word allegedly, but we have to do that for legal purposes. Allegedly raped, even though he fled, even though he fled when he got the news that she was pregnant. See, an innocent person has nothing to hide. And we've become, right, Matthew, we've become too tolerant of this behavior because we're being lulled to sleep by Western philosophies. See, too many of us are walking around here thinking we know everything, thinking that we're some kind of high intellectual, mental beyond human comprehension intelligence. Well, you need to come back down to the surface where the rest of us dumb people are and see what the hell is going on. See, we've come to the point to where we've talked so much and have said so many things, and the rhetoric has gotten so out of hand that we've become complicit. We are in agreement. We have made excuses for this kind of behavior. We've even gotten to the point now to where, well, not we, but some of us have even gotten to the point now to where we're blaming the victim. There are men right now who are blaming this 11-year-old girl for being raped by a grown ass man who know the difference between right and wrong. And then they're trying to blame this on black culture. This isn't black culture. This isn't the mentality of black men. These are animals, predators, and they should be identified as such. Their culture is pedophilia. That's their culture. Pedophilia is not black culture. Homosexuality is not black. And we have to start separating ourselves from that and start getting after people who try to associate this with who we are. Well, that's the first thing they did now, Hassan. Well, where was the mother? Or where was the father?
Okay, while we're waiting on Max,
This is the story. In Gonzales, Louisiana, Wendell Sanchez, 34 years old, is behind bars after trying to elude police. Over the weekend, deputies with Ascension Parish Sheriff Office were called to investigate a report about a molestation of a juvenile. Upon arrival at a local hospital, deputies learned that 34-year-old Wendell Sanchez brought a juvenile to the emergency room who has been complaining of abdominal pain and was waiting in his car, according to Ascension Parish Sheriff Office. An 11-year-old girl was found to be pregnant, and further investigation determined that Sanchez could be the father. Sanchez left the scene at the same time deputies arrived, and a chase ensued between the 34-year-old and the deputies. APSO says deputies with the assistance of Gonzales Police Department located Sanchez hiding in a patio area of a residency. Drugs and drug paraphernalia was found on Sanchez when deputies encountered a man. Sanchez was arrested and is currently in Ascension Parish Jail facing these charges: first degree rape with a victim under the ages of 13, resisting an officer, possession of Schedule 2 CDS, drug paraphernalia, criminal trespassing, simple criminal damage to property, possession of marijuana, illegal use of a controlled dangerous substance in the presence of a person under 17, creation of a clandestine lab, no driver's license, no lamps. And that's the charges they pressing on him. Oh, shoots. Okay, I was hoping Max was back. So that's the story we got so far. Of course, because of the age of the child, they're not going to give too much information on the child. But he brought her to the hospital, abdominal pain, and that's when they discovered she was pregnant. I guess as they talked to the child, it all came out. But he knew something was up for him to take off running as soon as the police get there. So, so he knew something was up. To me, that just says he's guilty. Why are you running? You just brought the child because
Okay,
of
I'm
the
back. You
pain.
guys hear me?
All right, I hear you. Going back, I went over the charges and the story. Yes, Auntie, I said 34 years old. Yep, yeah, the inmates are salivating him. This is just a parish jail. Imagine when he goes to prison. Okay.
Loud and clear that we will have absolute zero tolerance for the violation of any of our children. Zero tolerance. And that if you caught violating one of our children, your punishment will be the most awful. And that's what this man deserves. He deserves an awful punishment. See, we have to send. Hold on 1 second. Dame, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I keep thinking. No, absolutely no negotiations, Hassan. See, this is hitting black people harder than anyone else. Other races seem to have a handle on what they do with people like this, but black people are behaving in such a docile manner that this stuff keeps happening. See, we have to, as the black men, we have to start gathering and fighting back. We have to start raising our hands to these people who are looking to destroy us from the inside out. It's one thing to listen to a bunch of fancy rhetoric. It's another to say an 11-year-old girl who is a victim of a predator is at fault. I'm not even sure why we're having discussions with people who have that kind of mentality. Why are we even talking to them? Why are we having discussions? Why are we having podcasts? It's clear that those people are pedophiles. There was no victim. I mean, this is not the victim's fault. Well, I mean, Hassan, I mean, you come from the old schools as well as I do. You know what will happen to guys like this. I just can't say it on air without getting my channel shut down. You know what the deal is. So my thing is, when are we going to fight back? At some point, we have to start fighting back, and it begins with you opening up your mouth. You see, we keep allowing ourselves not to take any action because we're talking too much. You see, when you talk too much, you end up talking yourself out of something that you should be acting on. Listening to too many people who think they know every damn thing, but don't have any solutions, nor do they bring any results. Now, somebody say, hey, well, what's the solution to all of this? You know, the racism, the pedophilia, homosexuality, the police brutality. What's the solution? Well, there is no cookie cutter solution. There is no manifesto or dossier that you can look at and gather information and set up a plan. You're talking about a mighty machine that has tentacles that reach over the globe. The solution is one that you create. You have to create a solution. There isn't one out there waiting for you. You see, others will 30 and 40 and 50 years ago and give you a conversation about the past, something you can't do nothing about. You see, their whole gimmick is to study books and come on here and speak as articulate as possible and have you fall in awe with their so-called beautiful intellect. But they have no solution to the problem, and they have not yielded any results, and they are unproductive. So they are no different than a billboard sign that sits there and hopes that it gets noticed by people as they pass by. We need people who are into solutions, who are willing to get their hands dirty, people who are going to bring about results, people who are productive, people who are fearless in nature, because that's what it would take to turn things around. So you can't be afraid. Let me tell you something. Let me give you some simplicity here, right? I was watching the movie Panther, you know, about the Black Panthers. Shout out to Brother Rising, about the Black Panthers. If you ever get a chance to watch that movie, watch it again. It's on YouTube for free, and it's a good copy too. It has no commercials. I watched them. I watched it several times, right? And I noticed something about what Kadeem Hardison said in the beginning, and how the Black Panther Party got started. It started, hey, what's up, Iron Fist? With two brothers who were just fed up with the way black people was being treated. And then bam, you have the Black Panther Party of self-defense. And the reason why I'm bringing that, I want you to think about that for a second. And you can go and watch them. As a matter of fact, Dane, when you get a chance, look in the, Dane, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay,
hear
as soon
you.
as my co-host gets back.
Yes,
Hey,
I'm here.
Dane, scroll up. Yeah, scroll up in the Discord, copy that link for Panther movie and post it in the chat for me, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right, so let me get back to what I was saying. And so I want you guys to watch. I'm gonna give you guys some homework. Watch that movie. I want you to think about a few things when you're watching that movie. I want you to think about how simplicity champions solutions in production. You see, again, in the opening of that movie, very powerful when he said, it started with two brothers who was fed up. Simplicity. They were just fed up. They just had enough. See, that's how it starts. You have to get fed up with this stuff. You have to get to a point where you're tired of it. Whether it be you, another brother, another sister. If those two brothers can start something as prolific as the Black Panther Party of self-defense simply because they were fed up, you can do the same. You can even do more because you have more resources at your disposal than they did. See, when you're listening to people that's telling you all this fancy shit about what the government is doing, but can't produce any results, have no evidence of any results, have no evidence of any production, then you have to scratch your head. See, again, going back to this, pay attention to when you watch this movie. If some of you watch this movie, pay attention to what happened to the kid who was hit by the car. Pay attention to what happened after the kid who was hit by the car and killed because there was no street light. See, I wanna point something out about people who are willing to do something versus people who just talk. They talked till they were blue in the face and they couldn't get anybody to in the government to listen about putting a stoplight there. Eventually they got the stoplight, but at first they couldn't. So you know what they did? They became their own stoplight. I want you to think about that for a second and apply that to what's going on today. They did something about it because they were tired of people being killed at that intersection. They didn't get up on social media or whatever media that it was at the time and talk about how bad it was and how fucked up it was. Yo, man, that's fucked up, man. Another kid got killed and shit. Yeah, man, white man don't want to give it. They ain't talk like that. They said we'll be our own street light. And they were willing to sacrifice their time to stand out there and direct traffic so another black person wouldn't get hurt. See, this is the kind of mentality that we need to adopt as black people. See, those solutions right there, they weren't complicated. They were simplistic in nature. See, it doesn't take a lot to get something done. All it takes is the will and the want to. When are we going to be our own street light? You understand where I'm going with this. You're smart people. When are black people going to be their own street light? When are we going to get out in the streets of hatred, racism, pedophilia, and direct traffic away from our communities and our loved ones? When are we going to be our own stoplight? When are we going to get fed up and create our own Black Panther Party of self-defense? Not the exact same name, of course. But when are we going to become fed up black people and say, you know what, my brother, I'm fed up. You know what, my sister, I'm fed up. And they're going to reply you, well, you know what, my brother, I'm fed up too. You know what, my sister, I'm fed up too. All right, let's do something. What you need to do. Let's get out here and be our own stoplight. I'm with it. Let's do it right now. See, that's what we need to, that's the kind of mentality that we need on a simplistic level. To buy into these crazy ass notions that we need to be on a higher state of consciousness. You see, when niggas start talking about a higher state of consciousness, they're afraid. They are afraid. You see, talking that higher state of conscious shit is just another way of saying, look, man, I don't want no smoke. That beast out here, man. Yo, man, he taking black folk. I don't want no smoke, bro. I don't want to lose my job, man. I don't want to get kicked out of my apartment. I don't want no smoke. Hey, Dane, take this animal down. When you get a chance, take that animal down. Now, Matthew, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. It's not the cars that we need to stop. It's the mentality that we need to create. So you can't stop anything if you don't have any want to. My whole premise is they did accomplish a lot. They changed certain things, but it started with a simple understanding of being fed up and saying no more and let's go do something about it. That's what I'm saying. Don't compare the cars to politicians. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the mentality. They had a mentality. And so when something come up to talking about something, yo, black people need to be on a high state of consciousness. a scared Negro. He don't want smoke. That's not somebody you can trust to have your back in a fight. As a matter of fact, if you turn your back, he may pick up a rock and hit you in the back with it. See, all these people talking about higher state of consciousness and is the Bible, including all these scriptures. These are scared and terrified Negroes. Yeah, Matthew, I'm having some connection issues. I'm in a bad area. As a matter of fact, I may have to log off and log in. Hey, dang.
Yes.
Okay, log in and take over the stream, and I'm gonna log out, and then I'm gonna click on the link, okay, and come up that way because you have a better connection than me. So I'm
Okay.
gonna continue. I'm gonna continue on your connection. Let me know when you've logged in and took over the stream.
As far as I know, I
There was a
am logged.
background noise. So yeah, so while she's getting that set up, yeah, and so all this higher state of consciousness, all of this, the Bible is better, and forget all that. These are people who ain't willing to do what it takes to liberate themselves and their people. These are scared Negroes who are looking to conform. These are the type of brothers that are willing to live on their knees better than die on their feet. That's why you see them running around here all into these books because they're afraid to be in the street where the problems are. They're afraid to attack that beast who's out here terrifying everybody. They're willing to leave their women and children defenseless against this beast because they are coward in nature. That's why they keep their heads in those books. Because it's safe to get on social media and run your mouth about some BS that happened 5,000 years ago than to face the beast in real time today. See, running around here with all these names. They got names in a life of fiction on social media. But don't want to have nothing to do with this beast that's terrorizing them. Oh, I'm a scholar. They are they are social media scholars, but cowards in real life. That's why our women have no protection. Because most of the men are social media cowardly scholars. Like that's going to make a difference if you know some information about Kemet or the Metanetta or the coffin text. That means nothing in the grand scheme of things. It means nothing to that beast. It's going to come down to simplicity. You can protect or you can't. Either you are brave or you are a coward. Either you are productive or you are non-productive. Either you matter or you don't. All that other shit don't damn thing. How many scriptures you know don't mean shit. Whether you walk around here call yourself a goddamn Moor, don't mean a damn thing.
Amen.
It's gonna come down to one of my favorite sayings that I got out of the movie Baby Boy because it was very, 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 very realistic. It's about guns and butter, baby. It ain't about no books. It's about guns and butter. When you look at the movie The Black Buddy, what caused them to finally get the man to pay attention to them and take them seriously? Guns. Like Bobby Seale said, when they see some disciplined Negroes with guns, that gets their attention. It was about guns back then. It's about guns now. Guns and money. I don't care how many pharaohs you know. I don't care how many trips you take back and forth to Kemet. It has been and will always be about guns and money, weapons and money. You got weapons and money, you got power. Dame, are you in position for me to log off?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, y'all, I'll be right back. I'm going to log off because my connection is bad, and I'm going to come right back up on Dame's stream. Keep him company, Dame. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm still looking for the Black Panther movie. But it's getting worse out there. I I made a mistake and typed 34-year-old molest child, and I got a whole slew of these grown men with children. One man had the audacity to snatch the child while her father was occupied with her little brother. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, so it's getting to the things where you wanna curse, do some things. Yeah. Well, it depends on the music message you're talking about. I'm thinking about what's going on. Okay. These conscious people believe in only looking up and seeing chariots that aren't there rather than taking action against this wickedness we have down here. Yeah, to be so high up and holy that you know earthly good to anybody. Yes, I've heard that. Oh, I'm sorry, Auntie. I didn't mean to make you cry, but I was shocked too. I think the man snatched her and covered her mouth so she couldn't do anything. I didn't get a chance to read it all because that wasn't the one I was on, but it's horrible. Yeah, and that's some boldness for your behind. Now you know why women take all the kids into the stall with her. About the only one that's not pulled in the stall is the teenager. You can't trust the teacher. Uh, when I put 34-year-old, I didn't put the sex. I came up with a woman who's a teacher who uh, they didn't even bother with molestation. They said she outright raped the boy and then threatened him. I was like, well, how did they find out? Anyway, so hey, the teachers look like the teachers. You can't be trusted, and don't think your 13-year-old is grown that nothing can happen to them or getting there, even if they think they are, because this child was 13. Or yeah, bro, speak. When it comes to children, people hate them because they have an instant that they lost, or they know they're nonchalant about it because it happened to them. Well, it happened to me, and nobody worried about me. Yeah, yeah,
All right. I'm back. I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Did everybody hear me?
yeah, yes.
Thanks for holding it down, Dan. I appreciate it. Let me get back
You're
into what
welcome.
I was saying. So I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm in a bad area over here in Kentucky, and they don't want to do anything with the towers over here. But anyway, so like I was saying, there's a lot of things we can learn from that movie as Black people. Yes, it was a movie, but it was depicted on real events and a real mentality that these brothers had. You see, you have to get fed up. You have to stop allowing these things to continue to happen to us as people. We got to get out there and be our own stoplight. That's where it starts. And then we move on to grander things. But we have to have the want to first. If you don't have the want to, you won't get anything accomplished. And we have to stop listening to these Negroes on social media who are nothing but cowards and just disguise their cowardice in so many different clever ways. These guys aren't going to bust a grape. That's why their main thing is to run their mouth on social media. They won't run their mouth to that beast because he'll knock their teeth out. They're afraid of that. See, he'll punch him in the mouth, and then they'll go, and because they're so afraid of him, they'll go hit their woman. They're going to beat up on a Black woman. These guys have found a way to make cowardice prosperous. And they're using us to do it. We have to recognize this and pull support. These men aren't going to help us as Black people. They aren't going to get in the way of these pedophiles who are preying on our children. They're not going to get out in the streets and do anything. What's their latest catch? Oh, I got boots on the ground. That's a bunch of bull. That's BS. They ain't got no boots on the ground. These guys are lying. And if they do have boots on the ground, they're just standing there. And trust and believe, they are in a safe place to where they won't come in contact with any kind of bodily harm. We have to stop being mesmerized by these cowards because they talk fancy. At the end of the day, you're either productive or you are not. You produce results or you do not. That's what it is at the end of the day. It ain't about anything else. Because when that beast come up to your car door window, only thing he cares about is the color of your skin. Don't care about anything else. You know, when you watch that movie, one of the things about little Bobby Hutton, right? This movie has so many things in it that black people need to really pay attention to. One was poor leadership by Eldridge Cleaver, which got Bobby Hutton's life taken from him. You're talking about a man who wanted to intensify the struggle. You can't intensify from a losing position. Like Bobby Seale said, right? You're in a situation that you can't win. You got guns, but the beast has more guns. The beast has the National Guard. You don't have any national anything. So you have to be smart. Poor leadership got Bobby Hutton's life taken from him. Eldridge Cleaver should have never been in a leadership position. He wasn't mentally fit to be a leader. He was too emotional to be a leader. So there's a lot you can learn from this movie. Watch it again. Watch the things that go on in this movie about how you have the Negro who wants to work against black people, even though he sees black people trying to do something to better their communities. The selfishness in which he displays is remarkable. All he cared about was getting his money thing right. He didn't care anything about the people in that community. See, people like that, you have to run out of your community. You see, what part of the reason why we suffer the way we do is because we're not willing to do anything to stop suffering. We're not. We won't lift a finger and do anything. We're not willing to stop ourselves. We're not willing to do anything to stop ourselves from suffering. A person like that in your community, when you have brothers who are trying to organize, feed people in the community, start programs in the community, help the kids and the women and children, our women and children are our greatest. Without our women and children, we are nothing. So they are precious to us, precious beyond belief. They are to be protected at all costs. Our women bring life into this world. They bear children. They are to be protected at all costs. Look at Kadeem Hardison, right? When they had the situation to where a riot broke out because they was doing a vigil for the kid who was struck at that same intersection and was killed. Look at how he went into a frenzy when the police officer attacked his mother. You see, that's what we have to do as men. We have to go into a frenzy when the lives of our women and children are threatened. You see, this is how you send a message. To go into a frenzy, you become berserk. And in that mental state of being berserk, the man who seeks to bring harm to your women and children, your only thought at that moment is to send him to his destruction. So you got to get brutal. You have to be a beast yourself to deal with a beast. Because a beast only understands one thing, and that's violence and death. That's what a beast understands. They don't understand anything else. They don't understand anything about no damn higher consciousness. They don't give a damn about any mores. They don't give a damn about how many scriptures you know. They don't give a damn if you walk around and dress in a goddamn costume representing Roman Greco culture, which is disgusting in itself. A beast don't care anything about that. All the beast cares about is violence, death, and blood. So to deal with the beast, you got to be a beast yourself. So that's why Kadeem Hardison, when the beast attacked his mother, he went into a rage. He became berserk. He became a beast. He became savage to deal with the raw savagery that was trying to harm his mother. See? When these savages bring it to your women and children, you have to become more of a savage. There's no talking. You think you can talk to these people? You a damn fool. There is no talking. Now, again, I'm not inciting violence. I'm just giving you something else to think about. Something else to feel about. There's courage and feeling. So is courage. You feel courage. If you're a coward, you'll feel that too. Dame, am I still coming?
Oh, could you repeat that?
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm borging out?
You kind of, did that where you missed it gapped out. It's not.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just,
all right.
It was just a brief moment. Yeah. So, could you repeat that last bit just before you call my name? Well, just after you call my name.
I just said that cowardice is a feeling. Courage is a feeling, but so is cowardice.
Yeah.
Courage, if you're a coward, you feel that too. My thing is that later for the coward stuff. It's time for the brothers to stop being cowards. It's time for the brothers who feel inside that something is wrong and something needs to be done. It's time for you to become like Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton and get fed up and do something. No, I'm not saying go out there and kill someone. No, I'm not saying go out there and incite violence. But it's time to do something. I don't care if you go down and stand in front of someone's house for 8 hours just to make sure no harm to them. I don't care if you go to the market and help a black woman with her groceries. That's dumb. I don't care if you go to schools and stand up on guard and make a mistake. Something. If you have a trade, teach that trade. Learn the trade. I don't have anything against brothers with the forklift things. Do what you got to do to put money on the table. But a forklift license isn't what you should stop at. Okay? Yes, it's that used as a stepping stone. Ultimately, black men, you want to get a trade. You want to be a carpenter. You want to be a roofer. You want to be a metal worker, a welder, an electrician.
You need these skills. These skills are always in demand.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot more I want to say, but I have such a bad connection, I'm going to have to shut it down at this point. But there's a lot more I want to talk about. When I get into an area with a better connection, we're going to do part 2 of this. I'm going to call it something else, but, I have a lot that I want to say. It's been a while because I haven't been able to talk to you guys as regular as I would like because, hey, I'm a working man. I don't have time to be on social media all day long. And when I'm not working, I'm sleeping. So, I'm going to try to bring more podcasts because I know some of you have been emailing, hey, Max, when the hell are you going to, what the hell are you doing? I ain't heard from you since okay? I understand some people don't like it, but they're I appreciate those who support the E Nation. Oh, we're not going to, we're slowly building. Okay? Slowly building. We're working some things slowly but surely. Okay? Spread the word if you can. If they're trying to shadow ban us, spread the word, like, subscribe, and share. All right? I'm going to have to get on out of here, everybody. Peace, power, and unity. I'll see you on the next podcast. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Hassan Burton, Belmort, Nikki, Auntie, Mom Rain showing back up. And the new brother, Matthew, if you're still there, thank you for showing up. All right? Depending on how the ladies feel, because they've been sick lately, if they're sick Friday, we're probably going to do something different for ladies night, okay? Ladies night, let's go under the weather. We're going to do something different for ladies night. We might do a gangster talk, or we might.
All right. Well, Max Drive, as Max said, with me and Abinab in the list, under the weather.
Let's be recovered, trying to get better, all right? Shit you want, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Peace, power, unity, everybody.
All right. Yeah. So, we're still feeling bad. We're gonna do something a little different for ladies' night. All right. I put the link down for the Black Panther movie. Sorry, y'all. It just took me a while to find it. So take a look at it and see Actually, see it multiple times. Every time you see it, you catch something that you missed the last time. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Peace, power, unity. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time.